Hello, welcome back to my channel. I was going to make another ranking video of a much longer discography, but I just didn't feel like talking too much tonight. So I'm going to keep it short and make a ranking video of a band that only had a handful of albums, talking about Black and Blue, which is a very underrated 80s glam rock, hair metal band, whatever you want to call them. They formed in the early 1980s with Tommy Thayer and Jamie St. James, the singer and guitar player. And they added Jeff Warner, the extra guitarist, Patrick Young, bass player, and Pete Holmes as drummer. And they actually were featured on the first Metal Massacre compilation, along with Metallica, with one L at the time, and Rat. But I think their song, Chains Around Heaven, was on only the second or third pressing. It wasn't on the original pressing. But anyway, getting back to it, those four guys made up the majority of the band, and then they released a new album in 2011 called Hell Yeah. This is the album cover, and they had the same members except Tommy Thayer, obviously, who's in Kiss now. But the guitar player on this album was I'm going to mess this up because it's so similar, Sean Sonnenschein. Try to say that 10 times fast, but the rest of the band members were the same. Now he left, and they have two other new guitar players, Brendan Cook and some other guy. I know Cook is a young guy because I saw him play with the band. He's probably closer to my age than, might even be younger than me, I don't know. But anyway, that's the brief history. So I'm just going to rank the albums, and we'll just go from there. I wasn't going to put this last at number 5, but I decided I'm going to now, and that's Hell Yeah. It was originally recorded in 2003, but then it didn't come out until 2011. It was almost like Chinese Democracy, a smaller version of it. It's better than Chinese Democracy because it has the same sound of the 80s. It kind of misses the Tommy Thayer aspect of it, so I was going to put it 4th, but I put it last. I still like it a lot. And by the way, Chinese Democracy is a good album. I don't care what anybody says. It's not even as close as the classics, but I liked it. Target, they played that live when I saw them in England. I've seen them like 3 or 4 times already, and when I saw them in England, the guitar player couldn't get his visa, so they brought in Stacey Blades, former LA Guns guitar player, which was pretty cool. Target, like I said, got a target and you're the one. Hey, hey, hey. Hail, hail to rock and roll, great song. Fools Bleed, Fools Bleed. Monkey, it's a pretty good opening track. Then after the 4th song, it kind of like trails off. So Long is like a semi-ballad. It's pretty good, I guess. Candy's not bad, but it's like hit and miss after the first few songs. So I still think it sounds like Black and Blue. You can tell it's them. It's a little bit more polished and modern, but still 80s-ish. So also on Frontiers Records, everything is Frontiers now from the 80s bands. So that's number 5. And that's Black and Blue. Hell Yeah. It's fucking glare. I can't get the light right. Next is going to be their last album of the 80s. Before that, and the last with Tommy Thayer, In Heat. Now this one, I was going to put last, but it has some classics on here, like Heat It Up, Burn It Out, and then Get Wise to the Rise. That's another great song by them. And Rock On, the opening track. What goes up must come down. Rock On. Overall, it's their weakest era, 80s era album, I think. I'm going to try to get this damn light glare. See, it's the damn fluorescent light. But there, if I just back up a little bit. But yeah, it's their weakest 80s era album, I think. But it's still not a bad album. And that's In Heat, number 4. 3, I'm going to go with their sophomore album after their debut, Without Love. This is a lot more polished. They brought in Bruce Fairbairn, the famous producer. And they had Miss Mystery, might be my favorite song by them. I love the video with a woman on the airplane wing. It's pretty weird. You know, and they had Rockin' on Heaven's Door. Might be my favorite opener of their songs off their albums because it's just a great rock song. Rockin' on Heaven's Door. 2 wrongs don't make a right. It's not bad. The second side's kind of weak though. I mean, I don't think the band likes this album too much because it was a lot more polished and not as raw sounding as the one before and the one that came after. But I think it's pretty good. Like I said, the two songs that are really good on there is Miss Mystery and Rockin' on Heaven's Door, two of my favorites. But Bombastic Plastic's also good. It's about vinyl records, and I'm a vinyl maniac, so I definitely take to that song. So Without Love is my third favorite. Second favorite is probably going to be this one, which is Nasty Nasty. It's definitely their hardest album by far, aside from the ballad that was released as a single, I'll Be There For You. But the rest of the album is pretty damn rocking. It's probably their hardest hitting album. This one and also In Heat was produced by Gene Simmons. It's probably no wonder why he's now in Kiss, Tommy Thayer, because he's a hell of a guitar player that never gets any recognition. Well, now he kind of does because Kiss is Kiss, but yeah, he produced these two albums, so that's probably why he's like, well, damn, this guy's really good. We had to replace him with Ace Frehley. So the title track's obviously one of the standouts. Nasty, nasty. And then you have Kiss of Death. That's a great rock song. Kiss of Death, I think I read where Peter Criss and Ron Keel, of all people, were doing backup vocals, but I couldn't really tell. 12 O'Clock High is a great 80s high school themed, like rebellion song. Would have been great in 3 O'Clock High because the album title or the movie title is almost as similar as the song title, and it just would have been a rocking track, especially because he's worrying about getting beat up at 3 o'clock, and like a rebellion song would have been perfect. Do what you want to do, say what you want to say. It's another good song. I'll Be There For You, like I said, is their cheesiest song probably ever, but I like it because I like power ballads. And the keyboard, I'm like, it's so accented. And here I read where Jonathan Cain produced and wrote that song. It's no wonder because he's one of the most famous keyboard players of Journey and Bad English, obviously. And Journey's one of my favorite bands, but yeah, it just stands out as not really fitting on this album. I like the song though, but because the rest of the album's all rocked out hard rock songs, but then there's that song comes right in. But overall, I mean, this whole album kicks your ass. From a glam, pop metal, hair metal album, whatever you want to call it, that's the only one that stands out. But it's not a bad song. I like it, like I said, but it's just weird that it's on there. So that's number 2, Nasty Nasty. And one, I want to go with their debut. Usually I don't have debuts this high. I mean, sometimes they're either the best or like middle to lower. But this one is obviously their best song or their best album to me. It's their most raw sounding album. And like I said, I don't usually like raw sounding albums, but in this style of metal, they're really, the difference between raw and clean production, like Without Love is much cleaner. It's not much difference. It's not like listening to a raw thrash or death metal album. I mean, because glam, pop, hair metal, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's always meant to be a clean production genre. So Stronger Rock is a great kickoff track. School of Hard Knocks, At the School of Hard Knocks. And of course you got Hold On to 18. Hold on to 18. I know what I might be. Everybody covers that damn song from The Sweet. Def Leppard did it. I think the Scorpions even did it in like a German version. And Steve Stevens did it, and a few others. And Chains Around Heaven, like I said, that's the song that was on Metal Massacre 3. The guy that produced, I think it might have been the producer, Dieter Dierks, there we go, Scorpions, produced all the Scorpions albums. I don't think it was him though, but somebody heard him and they liked that song, so that's why I put it on Metal Massacre Volume 1. And Chains Around Heaven is probably my favorite song off this album, although Hold On to 18 up there too. But as a debut, it's just really a badass record. It's really underrated. The whole band is underrated. I mean, they've had a little bit of success. 2 or 3 of their albums were in the top 200 Billboard charts, but I mean, I could see why they didn't sell as much because they don't have a lot of casual hits. So a lot of people don't know this band too well. You have to be really into the genre to know a lot of their stuff. But I think they're really underrated, and that's why Tommy Thayer, he started out with them, and now he's in Kiss. So he's one of the best guitar players around. So anyway, that's my video. I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes. I'll put another ranking video of similar albums that I did in the past. Let me know what you think of this video and what your rankings will be, and make sure to subscribe. Take care and rock on.